I am so excited for today's episode. This is episode 11 of the Growing Space podcast, and today I'm going to share with you my favorite seed companies. So if you are brand new to growing food or haven't really embarked on the magical journey of ordering seed catalogs yet, now is the time to go ahead and place your requests for seed catalogs. And if you've never ordered seed catalogs before, then 100% would recommend you order just a handful of them. And I say order, they're usually free. The seed companies will send them to you at no cost, but it's just such a delight this time of year. I thoroughly enjoy going through all of the seed catalogs. Today might be a good time to just introduce to you my favorite sources for purchasing seed, why they're my favorite, and just share some more insight with you and different recommendations for how to shop for seed. That is what we're going to cover in today's podcast episode. Like I said, super excited. And as always, I'm so thankful that you have tuned in and that you are bringing me along for just a small part of your growing journey. Welcome to the Growing Space podcast. I'm your host, Farmer Erin, owner of The Patio Farmer, and I believe that no matter what size space you have, you can grow food at home. Tune in each week as I share my best tips, tricks, and encouragement for tending to homegrown edible plants. I'm here to support your food growing journey. One of the really amazing things about seed catalogs is that you can learn so much about seeds and so much about certain varieties of crops just by reading a seed catalog. Like, they're so informative, and there's just so much information that's packed into each publication. So you can really use them as an educational tool to help further your understanding, not only of seeds and seed production, but also different varieties and understanding like which varieties you may want to try this year for your space. Not all carrots are the same variety. Not all tomatoes, obviously, are the same variety. Like, there are different varieties within each crop type. And just like a person, those varieties have different personalities, different characteristics, different traits, different strengths, different weaknesses. So, you can really, if you're into it, if you want to take this kind of like deep dive and like fine tune your production, you can be really cognizant of the seed variety that you're choosing to grow for next year based off of, what you experienced this year in your space. Or, if you wanted to try something a little different, you could play around with your seed varieties. Okay, can you give me an example, Farmer Erin? Yes, I can. But let's just say you had really bad mildew on your squash this year. You could try for next year, you could try a variety that is more resistant to powdery mildew or downy mildew, whichever mildew you were plagued with this year. I am so sorry. But, you can choose a variety that's actually more resistant to that fungal outbreak. Yeah, totally. Or let's say you really love growing carrots. And, this spring, you were excited to get your carrots in the ground. You sowed them in, let's say, March, and you didn't harvest them. They weren't ready. You have tons of sunlight. You have tons of great soil. You're watering consistently. And they weren't ready until June. And that's fine. And that's great. And they were delicious. But maybe you're thinking, man, I wish there was a carrot that would be ready before June, so I would have more flexibility in planting my summer things. And there are tons of different options for growing carrots. You could choose a faster maturing variety that instead of taking 80 days to mature, it only takes 60. You've literally saved yourself 20 days. That's 3 weeks of time. There's just so much that you can take in if you want and tweak and modify in your growing plan just based off of the seeds that you select. If that speaks to you, great. If it doesn't, you should still order a seed catalog, just like one or two or all of them. Like, it's still just fun to flip through the pages. There's really pretty pictures. I also just want to share that in this week's episode, I have some exciting news, a little announcement related to seeds and related to 2024. That is also going to be tucked in. I'm probably going to share that at the end of the episode. I'm going to try to contain all of my excitement until the very end when I can share this exciting little announcement with you guys. Oh, I can't wait. And here we go. You guys ready to hear my list of favorite seed companies? Now, I will say that there are tons and oodles of options for sourcing your seeds, including this list, but also far beyond it. I mean, there are just so many different seed companies out there. And these are my favorite seed companies. And each one is a little different. You know, as you would imagine, each company has their own goal, their own target audience, and their own approach to how they want to sell and source seeds. So when it comes to shopping for seed, it really comes down to finding the right seed for you and for your space, right? So I keep going back to that saying, find what works for you and find what works for your space. I will also share that even though all of these seed companies, they do a fantastic job of sourcing their seed, rarely do I find that I can get everything from one seed company. Let's just go ahead and jump in and talk about the first seed company on my list of favorite seed companies is Johnny's Selected Seed. Now, they are based in Maine, and they produce a huge variety of crops across many categories. They have, of course, all the vegetables. They've got herbs. They have cover crops, grains, flowers. They also do organic seed and non-organic seed. I first learned about Johnny's Selected Seed when I was working on the farm in Pennsylvania. If you go back to my very first podcast episode, you can listen to me talk about my experience growing food on a certified organic farm in Pennsylvania. But that farm used a lot of Johnny's seed. And the things that I love about Johnny's is their focus on producing high quality seed. So most of Johnny's, if I was to guess, I don't know this like 100%, but if I was to guess, I would say that most of Johnny's customers, commercial customers, are small to mid-sized farms in the US. So their seeds, they have probably one of the best germination rates in my experience working with seeds. So now, just a quick definition for the word germination. Germination is when a seed sprouts and, you know, a little baby plant grows from a seed. Ugh, precious. So, you know, something that you might want to pay attention to if you are apprehensive about direct seeding crops in your space, or maybe you've had, you know, some hit or miss trials with seeding at home. Johnny's prides itself on having a high germination rate on almost all of their seed. Most of the seed packets that I have bought from Johnny's in the past have a batch germination percentage stamped right on the packaging. And most of the time, it's like north of 97%, which is like really good. It's almost 100% germination, which means that if you were to sow 100 seeds, 97 would come up, right? The selection and the high quality germination are easily two of my favorite things about Johnny's. One thing that I will call out about Johnny's that may not be as ideal, especially for the home food grower, is their packaging. And this is my impression. I haven't spoken directly with someone from Johnny's marketing department, but my impression from Johnny's is, their target market is mid to small scale farms. So people who grow food professionally and maybe don't need as much like growing education on the packet itself. So I do think, though, that for the home food grower, if you pick up a packet of seed and it has more information on how to plant it, how much sun it needs, when it'll come up, a nice little description, a pretty picture, that's all really helpful when you're growing food for yourself at home. Maybe you're not a professional grower, or heck, even if you are, it's still fun to have that, right? But Johnny's packaging is pretty bare bones. Usually just white paper with black text. And it doesn't give you like a description. It might give you like a really general like planting rate, because they're like, here's your seed. You know what to do. Have fun. Have at it. Best of luck for the season. Go get them. So yeah, that's one thing about Johnny's seed, is that their seed packets are not super informative and super educational. But their selection is fantastic and their quality is just like chef's kiss. Fantastic. So that is Johnny's selected seed out of Maine. And of course, I've got you. I'm going to put all of this information in the show notes. I will put links to all of these seed companies in the show notes, and you can request the seed catalogs for these different seed companies on their website. So the second seed company on my list of favorite seed companies is High Mowing Organic Seed. They are based out of Vermont, and I actually recently got to meet my seed rep from High Mowing. It was super fun. So shout out to Michelle. Hey, Michelle. But I was at the seed saving workshop in November, and she was there, and it was so fun. We got to say hello. We've been exchanging emails here recently, so it was fun to just put a face to the name. So I could lead by saying that High Mowing has excellent customer service, if I do say so myself. One of my favorite things about High Mowing, other than the fact that they produce super high quality seed, is that all of their seed, everything they sell, is certified organic. That is a huge appeal for me. And what I have found, it's a huge appeal for my clients and customers. One of the questions that I get asked whenever I'm about to start working with an individual at their home, in their growing space, is, can we please grow everything organically? And so by default, I source all organic materials and, as much as possible, organic seed. So the fact that I can shop with High Mowing and not have any pause whatsoever in terms of knowing if this seed is safe for organic production, it's just so nice. They also have a great selection of vegetables, herbs, fruits, flowers. And they've got a great seed potato stock, a seed garlic, just a wonderful selection of different things. So one of the other things that I love about High Mowing is their seed packets and their branding. So unlike Johnny's, love you Johnny's, but unlike Johnny's, their seed packets are super informative. They usually have some nice graphics, and they state, the variety really clearly. And if it's a hybrid, if it's open pollinated, they'll put the germination rate. They always put the days to maturity. So days to maturity is something that you should pay attention to when you're shopping for seeds, because that term, days to maturity, sometimes it's average days to maturity, that number of days or range is the average amount of time once the seed has germinated to harvest. So it kind of gives you a ballpark for how soon you'll be able to harvest once those seeds pop up. But that's always really clearly stated. On the back of the packet, there's usually some, like a really informative description of the variety. And then also like seeding information, like how much sun do you need? How warm should the soil be when you plant? Can you plant it after the frost or before the frost? Or, what's the soil depth that you need to plant the seed at? Just tons of great, helpful planting information on the seed packet itself. And, 100% certified organic. So High Mowing Organic Seed, definitely close to the top of the list, if not at the very tippity top of my favorite seed company list. So before we get to the rest of the list, I do just want to take a quick little break and hear from our sponsor of this podcast. So hang tight and we'll be right back with more of my favorite seed companies. This podcast is sponsored by Plant Club by the Patio Farmer. Plant Club by the Patio Farmer is a monthly subscription service I started in 2020. It's a membership-based opportunity to take your growing journey to the next level. With 4 different membership options, you get to decide the amount and kind of support that's right for you. All Plant Club members receive access to my online community through a platform called Circle. Having access to this platform allows members to share pictures, ask questions, celebrate harvests, and get to know each other. All Plant Club members also have access to free seeds each month, along with information on how to plant and tend to their crops, with seeding instructions and downloadable resources from the Patio Farmers Resource Library. Membership starts at just $14 a month. Join Plant Club today by visiting my website, thepatiofarmer.com/membership. I also just want to give a quick little shout out about Plant Club and 2024. So I have just this week posted all of the Plant Club grow kits and themes for each month for next year. So if you are interested in just taking a peek and seeing what we're going to be focusing on next year in Plant Club, you can head to my website. Again, it's just thepatiofarmer.com/membership. Don't worry, I'll put that in the show notes. I'll give you, the link to preview all of those grow kits for 2024. And if you're interested in getting in on all the fun, definitely sign up to join Plant Club because it really is so fun. It's one of my favorite things that I do. But okay, let's get back to talking about the seed companies that I love. The next one on the list is Baker Creek Heirloom Seed. Now, if any of you have ever done any shopping with Baker Creek Heirloom Seed, which is based out of Missouri, FYI, then you will know that this seed company probably has the largest selection of rare heirloom unique seeds of any other seed company that I know of. And they have a huge seed catalog. I actually think this is one of the only seed companies that you actually have to pay for their catalog because it really is like a book. And when I say pay, I mean, I think it's like $10 for their seed catalog. But honestly, it's totally worth it. I mean, entertainment factor and educational factors considered, it's huge. But the goal behind Baker Creek Heirloom Seed is to produce this massive variety and to help to distribute really unique and heirloom seeds that help tell a story. But Baker Creek really focuses on those rare heirloom unique seeds. There's a lot of benefits to growing rare and heirloom seeds, but you also want to just keep in mind that these are rare and unique seeds. There's a reason for the rarity, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're shopping with Baker Creek. Again, they don't do any like certified organic seed. Everything is just conventional. I'm sure some of it is sustainably grown, but their goal is to show a wide variety of rare and unique seed. So that's what they hang their hat on. They also only sell seeds in individual packets. So they don't do like any bulk seed sales, whereas, with Johnny's or with High Mowing and some of these other seed companies that I'm going to get to, you can purchase seed in higher amounts or like bulk seeds. With Baker Creek, it's usually just a packet, which is great. It's great. But if you need like a lot of a specific kind of seed, you'll just have to buy a lot of packets from Baker Creek. I will also say that sometimes their quantities can be limited based on the specific crop that you're looking for. So if it's something that is fairly rare or, unique, hard to come by, make sure you check out their website and their seed catalog sooner rather than later so that you can make sure that you get the seeds that you're looking for. So that's Baker Creek. These next three companies, I would say that they share a similar ethos or like approach to seeds. All three of these companies, they have a real calling to preserve not only the seed and the viability of the seed, but also to celebrate the heritage, the story of the seed, and to encourage a sense of community and foster this connection between the humans that are growing the seeds that they share in their companies. And two of these companies are actually located in the Southeast, which again is great. If we can shop locally or regionally within our own communities, I feel like there's strength in that support. It's also important, if you can, to choose seeds and varieties that grow well in your climate and in your region. And so by supporting local seed companies or regional seed companies, you're able to just dial in even further the specificity of choosing a seed and variety that's going to work well for you and work well in your space. So the first one in this category of companies is Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. Now, they are based in Virginia, in Southwest Virginia, in the mountains, and they are owned by Ira Wallace. I also had the opportunity to meet Ira at the seed saving workshop that I went to recently. Ira Wallace has just built her career and her life around preserving and promoting seeds. And she's written many books. She's the author of Vegetable Gardening in the Southeast, which is one of the books that I mentioned in my recent episode about the books on my bookshelf. So Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, they just do a really great job of showcasing and highlighting heritage Southern crops. And all of their seeds are produced with quality and precision in mind. They support local seed farmers across the Southeast, and they just have a really wonderful product. They do offer organic seeds. So if you are, if you're focused on growing all organically, you can source certified organic seed from Southern Exposure. The other company that I wanted to highlight is the Seed Savers Exchange. So this company is based in Iowa, and this is a really unique company, actually. Basically, this company coordinates seed saving and sharing across this network of growers. So they aggregate seed from seed savers and then share it with the customers and clients and people who want to order seeds from them. But it all comes from this network of seed savers, which is pretty unique and pretty cool. So you can find a great selection of seeds from across the country. You can find some really unique specialty crops through Seed Savers Exchange. And they really pride themselves on preserving the heritage and the story of the seeds and the crops that they're tending. So I love that. And then the third seed company to share is a North Carolina seed company. One of the most well-respected and well-known seed companies here in the great state of North Carolina is So True Seed. And So True Seed is based out of Asheville, and they are a cooperative, actually. So all of the employees also own the company. So True Seed is also a woman-owned company, and I actually have their seed catalog in front of me, and it is just a delight. I learned so much just by flipping through the pages, and really appreciated their attention to educating not only about crops themselves and specific varieties, but also the process of like seed saving and seed production. They also work with a lot of small scale seed farmers, and they designate in their seed catalog which seeds come from smaller sustainable farms. And they also do a lot of certified organic seed as well. They have lots of unique varieties. They also do a lot of really wonderful artwork for their products. Every seed packet is like its own little artful masterpiece. Like High Mowing, Their seed packets are very educational and very informative. So, in addition to being really lovely and attractive and full of great local artwork, they also have specific information about each variety, how to plant it, how to tend it. They are also geared towards the home food grower and working to educate the home food grower. I also got to meet one of the staff members of So True Seed at this recent workshop that I went to. It was so fun. We actually sat next to each other for the first portion of the workshop. But yeah, So True Seed is a great company and I love supporting them, especially since they're right here in North Carolina. Can't get much better than that. I source seeds for clients and my own growing space from these seed companies consistently year after year. You can't go wrong with any of the seeds. There's so many options out there for how to source your seeds. And you also might decide hey, I have tried sowing from seed and it's fine for a couple of things, but there are some things that I just want to go ahead and buy a plant for. That's cool too. I personally, as much as possible, I want to start things from seed. And I just love seeds, y'all. I feel like that might go without saying after this episode, but I really do. There's just something so, I don't know if the word is encouraging or empowering, but, there's something just so innocent in a seed when you look at it. You just see this cute little seed that's so innocent and unassuming, and you put it in the right conditions, which, it's not that picky. It just needs somewhere cozy and soft and soily and, maybe just a smidgen of sunlight and a drop or two of water. And it comes alive. And it grows this ginormous plant that produces food for you. I mean, ginormous, okay, it's all relative, right? But starting from a little seed, what it turns into is pretty ginormous. And that little seed has the power to feed you, has the power to feed your family, your community, your friends, and nourish your body, also nourishing your mind and soul along the way. Not to get too wooey, but there's just such power in those little seeds, and they're beautiful. I think they're beautiful. Have you ever just stared into a bag of seeds or poured some out on your palm and just looked at them? Do that. If you have a little packet of seeds, just pour them out, just stare at them. Just for fun. Why not? Do a little meditation with your seeds because they're so great and we really shouldn't take them for granted. If you have listened to other episodes of this podcast, then you will know that at the end of every episode, I share just a little fun fact, a little tidbit, little pro tip for you. And I'm going to share this ahead of my big announcement. So my big announcement is what we're going to sign off on today. And I'm going to share this little tidbit with you. And then I'm going to give you a sneak peek for next week's episode. And then my big announcement. I want to share with you that I have a brand new seed saving resource. This is a digital resource. There are currently only 2 ways that you can get my Seed Saving 101 resource. Again, it's a digital download. It's about 8 pages long, full of just honestly, me nerding out about seeds, understanding seeds, how seeds are produced, saving seeds, drying seeds, storing your seeds. I mean, there's just so much seedy goodness in this downloadable resource. And there are 2 ways that you can get your hands on it. One, you can join Plant Club. And like I've already said, throughout the show, I have my new 2024 Plant Club projections up on my website. So you can join Plant Club, and this is one of the resources in my digital resource library on Circle, available to all Plant Club members at any level. Or you could become a paid subscriber to my newsletter for $5 a month or $50 a year. And in doing so, you will get this handy dandy resource emailed to you straight away to download and keep on hand for reference. So that's your fun little tidbit, your fun insight for this week. Now, next week, we are going to talk about my favorite local retailers. So this is going to be specific to those of us living in the Charlotte area, the greater Charlotte area. I'm going to give you just a rundown of all of my favorite places to go shopping for food growing supplies and such. It's going to be great. So make sure you tune in. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for, my big announcement. And I am so excited, you guys. Okay, here we go. So throughout this episode, I have talked about my favorite seed companies. Most of the seeds that I have used in the past, well, actually, all of the seeds that I have used in the past have come from these seed companies. I usually buy them in bulk and then share them out with clients as they're ordered or as they're needed throughout the year. But for 2024, I am so excited. Okay, so for 2024, I have officially become a wholesale retailer for 2 of these seed companies and will be sourcing almost exclusively. I don't want to say 100% exclusively, but my goal is to source primarily from these 2 seed companies for next year. Because I'm becoming a wholesale customer of these 2 seed companies, so I'm not going to be packaging the seeds in my own packaging. I'm going to be offering them and delivering them in the packaging that they come from the seed company. So what that means is that when you order seeds from me, you're going to get all of the information that's tucked in on the packet. It's going to be more informative, more supportive for you. It's going to save me a little bit of time. And I think it's just going to be great. So the 2 seed companies that I'm going to be working with as a wholesale retailer for next year are, drumroll please. That's my little drum roll. Okay. High Mowing Organic Seed and So True Seed are going to be my 2 main seed companies for 2024. High Mowing because they have high quality, 100% organic seed, and their packets are super informative. And I have affiliate links with High Mowing. So you can order directly through their website, and I get just a little commission, just a little bit of a commission from High Mowing if you use the links that I share to purchase seeds from them. So yes, I will be putting my affiliate link down in the show notes for High Mowing Organic Seed. So that's super exciting. I can't wait to see how that works out for next year. And then So True Seed, I am going to be a wholesale customer of theirs as well. And I love So True Seed. I mean, one, because they're local to North Carolina, which is where I'm based. For those of you who are brand new to this podcast, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm really excited to support this local seed company that is committed to open pollinated seeds and the practice of seed saving. They're all about saving seed and celebrating the power of seed. And I am just so excited to be able to offer these 2 seed companies to all of my clients next year and all of the information and resources that go along with that. So that's my big announcement. I will put all of the links to the seed companies and other things that I mentioned in today's episode in the show notes just for you. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Happy December. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? Ugh, Christmas, the holidays, Hanukkah, the New Year, the winter solstice. It's all coming so soon. Ugh. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in. And go order your seed catalogs. So fun. Bye.